Get a load of this one. At least Mariah Carey seems to be aging gracefully. Can't say the same for our society. Nothing like snatching gifts out of a child's hand to save $6. No wonder Rudolph took himself out.
Come on, Rudolph! Go away! No! Don't go further this way! No! Oh.
He doesn't want to see it. It's time to let him go. Rest in peace, Rudolph. Let's start the show. Episode 24. This is the Christmas show. R.I.P. Rudolph. You know what's interesting? Remember when Barney died? You know what I find interesting? The reaction for the death of Barney was much different than the reaction of the death of Rudolph. I mean, people were crying over Barney. But Rudolph gets laughed at while he's losing his life. Makes sense out of that. I mean, to everybody who's saying this dinosaur was promoting joy and happiness, I mean, don't forget, this dinosaur is responsible for launching the career of Demi Lovato.
We're gonna have fun. It's a beautiful sunny day.
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend.
I mean, we should be celebrating his death considering what he's unleashed upon us. But you know what? I think she's coming around.
I've actually adopted the pronouns of she, her again. So for me, I felt like, especially last year, my energy was balanced and my masculine and feminine energy. So that when I was faced with the choice of walking into a bathroom and it said women and men, I didn't feel like there was a bathroom for me because I didn't feel necessarily like a woman. I didn't feel like a man. I just felt like a human.
I can't keep up with it. Okay. Whatever you say.
Oh, oh, good.
Oh, man. Now we got this one taking the crown.
You guys love saying the Holly weird, all the pedophiles in Holly weird. Listen up, faces. There's pedophiles in every industry. You want to go be a chef? You'll probably have some abusers over there. You want to go be a teacher? Abusers over there. You want to go be an engineer? Abusers over there. This isn't an issue with Hollywood. This isn't an issue with the fashion world. This isn't an issue with celebrities. This is an issue with men, God damn it! Men!
What do you think she's going to do first? Shave her head or change her pronouns? I did a poll on Instagram. You guys voted. It was pretty even, actually. Kind of a toss-up. I told you Demi Lovato was going to shave her head when she did. I'm not saying that was an accomplishment. I mean, a lot of people anticipated that. It just seems like there's only a few things that happens to these people who just completely lose their minds. It seems like either their hair gets shaved, the pronouns change, drugs get involved. It should be interesting to see what happens here.
Hey guys, so I'm obsessed with leaves and I go to the park every day, so I've been seeing the leaves change and I just got really inspired. And leaves are so important, they just rake them up and blow them away, but it's really tree food.
Miss Uncah Jams.
Uncah Jams.
Right.
Why does she contort her neck like that when she says that? Uncah Jams.
Uncah Jams.
Right.
Uncah Jams.
I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncah Jams.
Right.
And Josh Safdie's muse and Uncah Jams.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway. I wonder if there's professionals out there who study people like this, aside from me.
Hey guys.
I don't know. Anyway, let me shout out my sponsor, ExpressVPN. I've been finding a lot of movies using this. What it does for you is, you know, when you go on Netflix to search for a movie or whatever streaming site you use, and it's just not there, right? Well, that doesn't mean that they don't have it. It's just not available in your country. But this is the workaround. When you get ExpressVPN, it lets you change your location online. You could pick between 100 different countries. See, then you could just find some of these Christmas shows or movies that you haven't been seeing on there, and all the other genres. And you could use this for pretty much all the streaming sites. There's an app for this too. You could do this on your phone, tablet, on your TV. I always have it running. So get your money's worth and get 3 extra months of ExpressVPN for free when you go to expressvpn.com/joeybvs. That's expressvpn.com/joeybvs. You know, I'm watching all these news reports about how nobody's showing up for Black Friday anymore.
A little more upbeat news here. The days of camping out all night for Black Friday deals appear to be over.
I don't know if they're doing all their shopping online or what's going on here, but I'm seeing all this stuff with empty lines and all this stuff. See, what's disappointing about this? It's not the deals that I miss. I mean, don't get me wrong. I never go to a store on Black Friday. It's not the deals that I miss. It's the fights. I mean, I was a big pro wrestling fan when I was a kid. Every January, I'd look forward to the Royal Rumble. You know, and then I got older, I kind of grew out of it. And, you know, now my December was looking forward to the Royal Rumbles in Walmart. I mean, this was great. I mean, they had referees. See the lady in the vest? She decides who's going to get the item. I mean, there's been some classic matchups. I'm just surprised they never put a ring in these stores. I mean, if I was managing one of these places, I would rope off an area with chairs for spectators to come in and watch and charge admission. And let the crowd interact with the fighters, like hand them weapons and stuff, like steel chairs and pipes and stuff, and just let them have fun with it. I mean, this could be a pay-per-view event. They could do all kinds of things. In the hardware department, you could have ladder matches, you know, hang a free TV from the ceiling and see who could get it first. The pet department could have dog collar matches, shit like that. I don't know. I feel like there's an opening to compete with the WWE. Have you guys seen Simon Cowell's face lately? What is going on here? I saw this the other day, and you know, it's hard to tell these days if something's photoshopped or not. So I did a little research, and I found the actual video that this screenshot is from. And it's real. This isn't the same guy. I mean, are they no longer going to surgeons now? Are they going to cremators? Does he go to a cremator and say, look, when you start the cremation process, when I start melting, stop. That's right where I want to be. Look, you can't expect me to not have questions about this. I mean, Gwen Stefani's face is frozen now. Simon's melting. I mean, are they adding animatronic wax figures to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum? I mean, what is going on here? Maybe this is a way where celebrities can work and be out there without actually having to be out there. Like maybe they just wheel their animatronic figure out onto the set and they just try to pass it off as if it's really them. And then, you know, some figures maybe they just didn't do a good job with, you know? Like maybe they had a lower budget for the Simon Cowell one. And that's why it looks like this. I don't know. It's just that I feel like I grew up in one era where you didn't see this stuff. Now I'm here and you do. And it's like I'm just supposed to pretend like I lived half my life without seeing this stuff. And now I'm just supposed to be like, oh, okay, it's normal. No, it's not to me. Sorry.
И у меня, как налило, я чувствовала себя членом, сука, эрегированным членом. Знаешь, как оно, блядь, ну?
Oh, my God. Oh, you know what I wanted to talk about? Have you guys seen this new AI art technology? I'm seeing this pop up everywhere all of a sudden now. This seems to be the new trend. Apparently, all you do is just give it a photo of yourself, and it turns it into this incredible painting-like portrait of yourself. And I don't like it. And I'll tell you why. I already feel like we live in an era where people's creative efforts aren't as celebrated and appreciated like they used to be in the past. I mean, I've documented this about social media, how you have people who wake up in the morning and take selfies or photos of their ass or, lip sync to songs or just basically do nothing in their photos and videos, and they'll get millions of followers. I mean, you have people that film themselves eating food with millions of followers. And then you got a kid here who's a 10-year-old artist, who I just discovered recently, by the way, who goes by the name of the Sketching Kiddo. And he draws these awesome drawings. I mean, he's a young kid. I mean, you could see the potential here. I mean, like for a 10-year-old, I mean, he was showing some stuff on here from when he was 7 that is like better than I think 99.9% of kids could do at that age. And he's sitting there with maybe 1,500 subscribers versus a guy who eats food with millions of subscribers. Something's wrong here. I mean, if the youth isn't being presented with these things and showcased in the mainstream so that everybody can see this, I mean, what is there for these kids to be inspired by, when it comes to entertainment or talent or whatever? But going back to this AI-generated art, there's a kid out there that will grow up with this technology knowing that they can just have a portrait done for themselves to perfection with a phone app. Then you have a kid walking past somebody drawing a portrait of somebody at an event or something, and he'll go, "Mommy, why is he doing this? Why he could just do this with an app?" Like, they're not going to understand why that's special. They won't understand why that's worth anything. I don't want to celebrate technology. I want to celebrate people's efforts. I mean, look what you can do with photography now with your phones. I mean, you mean to say that there wasn't potential clients for a photographer that could have took the same pictures somebody took of themselves with their phone to create a headshot or a portrait? I mean, of course, there's always going to be a need for photographers and artists and stuff like that. But there's a reason why they're starving artists. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to make a living doing it, But if everybody has the tools in their pocket to do the things that these people are doing for a living, for money, I mean, don't you think that's going to affect these people in some way? Look, there's pros and cons to everything. I just don't think we actually look at the downside and the cons of these new things that we develop. I think we're always looking at the positives, but we're not really looking at how some of these things that we create, how detrimental these things could be for society. For example, these robots that we're developing. I mean, for the past 10 years, all I've been seeing is these videos being shared of these dog-like robots walking around, running and doing backflips, and they're poking them with sticks. They're reacting like people opening doors. I mean, does anybody worry about what happens when they put guns in their hands? I mean, is anybody thinking about that? I've been screaming at everybody about this for the past 10 years. And here we are today. I see an article about how San Francisco is now implementing these robots into the police force. I mean, am I the only one that's seen that coming? I mean, I remember seeing the video of the robot dancing or doing a backflip or something. And I'm like, this is like, why are we making this? So we're basically creating a new entity that's going to be smarter than us and has more power than us and emulate the physicality of an elite athlete, and they're just going to clone them over and over. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, you can make a case that robot technology will benefit the disabled. 100%. I understand that. But what's the cons then? That somebody puts guns in their hands and programs them to kill people? I mean, are we going to just wait until the first robot mass murder? I mean, like, you think that's not going to happen? I mean, who are we kidding here? Why would you create something that has the potential to do that? I don't think that the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to this. I just think we need to stop making things because we can. I feel like we used to celebrate the breakthroughs of technology and what we were capable of, and it seemed excited where we were headed. But now that we have all these things, I feel like it was a mistake. I mean, people were excited about these phones, and now look what they've done to people. It's a new addiction that we created. It just seems like we're obsessed with constantly making things under the guise that it's going to make our lives better. My question to those people is, when is it enough? When is this enough? When is the way that we live enough? Why does it seem like we're constantly creating things to always make our life easier? Doesn't that breed weak people? There's a downside for having all of society live like kings and queens ultimately. I mean, the people who are growing up right now, who know no other way other than relying on technology to take care of things that people used to take care of themselves before all this technology came about. What happens when the grid shuts down? They're not even going to be able to do basic tasks. I don't know why we don't care about that. I don't know. I just think that we're creating more problems. You know what I started watching the other day was those old Dean Martin Christmas specials. Used to be like a variety show, you know. He'd sing, have special guests, and then, you know, do comedy sketches and all that.
Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without you, Louie.
Well, shall we change gifts?
Okay, let's exchange gifts. Merry Christmas, Louie.
Merry Christmas. Hey, Jolly.
Johnny Cash had one, Sinatra. They're great. I mean, these are shows that people would sit around with their family and watch during Christmas time. And they were classy and wholesome. And I started thinking, I'm like, where is this kind of stuff anymore?
I just checked Santa's itinerary, and you children of the City of Hope Medical Center in Duarte, California, are going to have a most welcome visitor on Christmas Eve.
Be sure to make lots of room under the Christmas tree at the Windacres Orphanage in Cincinnati.
Who's left in the mainstream now that has that feel-good, genuine aura about them that could pull something like this off? I mean, Pepsi thinks Cardi B is a good representation of that.
I want some of that Pepsi money. I need it.
A Cardi Carol by Pepsi.
Exactly. Go get me that. Love you. Bye. Need money to give money.
Yeah, that's good for the kids. Yeah, isn't that nice? Yeah, see, now we got the Cardi B twerk shop. And if we're lucky, maybe network television will give us Cardi B's wet-ass Christmas special, too.
That's great, baby. Try less hands and more hips. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, we got the Chris Brown Christmas special. It's a wholesome individual. That's a Christmas album that slaps. We got a Christmas movie with Lindsay Lohan. Yeah, Christmas with the Drunk, I think maybe that. I don't know. Call me old school. Call me what you will. I don't understand why we always have to slip perversion into things that were always traditionally purely wholesome.
Have you got a favorite singer?
You got a favorite singer? What? Oh, what are you going to give your mommy for Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, one of those? Oh, yeah.
Like, even if they tried to do this with some of today's stars, like if they actually tried to do a Cardi B Christmas variety show and they had the same setup with a bunch of kids around them, like, I wouldn't want her touching my kids.
Well, you see my nails, ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't want to see the Machine Gun Kelly Christmas special. What's he going to stand there and perform Christmas songs in front of children and go home and drink his girlfriend's blood?
Yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes.
I mean,
turning Pepsi into cash to make your holiday bright.
I mean, the entire thing just promotes and normalizes vanity and greed. Two things that not only negatively impact society, but leads to unhappiness. The complete opposite of what the spirit of Christmas is about: love, generosity, and goodness. None of this represents that. This is consumerism. There's no love involved in any of this. They're just using something wholesome to sell you garbage. The same way they sell you pharmaceuticals on TV. They'll show this happy, wholesome situation with upbeat feel-good music as they read 20 pages of side effects that could destroy your life.
Some people can have allergic or serious skin reactions to genetics, some of which can be life-threatening.
Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal.
Or if you develop suicidal thoughts or actions, stop taking genetics and call your doctor right away.
Why don't they ever show visuals that represent the side effects they're talking about? You know, this product may cause brain hemorrhaging, stroke, miscarriage. Come on, let's see some people hemorrhaging.
All prescription NSAIDs, including Celebrex, may increase the chance of heart attack or stroke, which can lead to death.
Why are you showing me a guy playing catch with his dog? And they say it all fast to gloss over and hope that you're drawn into this beautiful imagery and music they got going on in the forefront. Bunch of swindlers is what they are. There's so much trickery out there. They cast spells onto the weak and impressionable. That's what they do. That's why they target kids. They're the perfect target audience for consumerism. And if you grow up in a household where you don't have any guidance or no one to instill some sort of value system in you to use as a barometer to gauge if what's being marketed to you is good or bad for you, if you don't have that ability, you're more likely to choose the wrong path because you weren't even prepared to know what any of these paths will lead to. Whereas somebody with a value system can see right away that this path doesn't align with my values. So I'm not going to go down it. And I'm not going to buy anything that anybody in it is selling to me. If you don't have that barometer, I mean, it's just like you just exist and go with the wind. And you become these companies' target audience by being like this. They're going to try to convince you that what they're selling is what you need to feel fulfilled. This is going to make you cool. This is going to make you look pretty. People are going to admire you if you buy this. It just feeds into the vanity thing, which ultimately leads to unhappiness. I mean, in my opinion, it's horrible how they market to young girls specifically. It's the constant marketing scams that convince women that they need that $1,000 purse. They need those lip fillers. Oh, I don't like my nose either. Dr. Nose Job here. Don't worry, we'll just chop it off and give you a new one. Look at all the celebrity clients we've satisfied.
Kiss thin lips goodbye and say hello to a fuller pout.
Ooh, top 10 ways to attract the man of my dreams. Buy. I mean, meanwhile, everything you need, you already have. You just don't even know it. If you're a good person, that's all that matters. Just be that, and the right people will appreciate you for who you are. This idea of pleasing everybody and trying to mold yourself into this thing you think will make you universally pleasing to society is such a dead-end road. You know, I got this letter from this 18-year-old girl living in California that touches on this a bit. I want to read a bit of this just to put things into perspective here of what some of these kids go through. I feel like I should wear the Santa hat here. Let's get in the festive mood here. I feel like this is fitting. Let's try to take the headphones off. Let's see. Yeah. God, my head is so big it barely fits. I feel like I look like an elf in this thing. My head's so big, nothing ever fits right. Whatever. I feel like I got more of the look of a Rice Krispie elf going on here. Anyway, before we read this, if you guys want to send in some mail and all that, I got a snail mail address. You can address it to Joey B versus the world or Joey B Tunes, however you want to address it. 178 Columbus Ave, 237190, New York, New York, 10023. All right, let's get into this. This is a letter from Michaela. Like I said, this is an 18-year-old girl in California. I'm going to skip around a little bit because I wanted to segue into something that was relevant to what we were just talking about, the vanity thing. So this is kind of a first-hand perspective of an 18-year-old girl in California who struggled with this. So let's see here. Where is it? Here we go. So, ever since childhood, I have struggled with appearance and a never-ending harshness to be perfect and meet impossible standards. I even got a drastically different haircut recently that really shook my confidence more than it's ever been shaken before. You may find this silly or hard to believe, but your advice on it being an accomplishment to accept yourself as you are beneath all the makeup, filters, and plastic surgery has been inspiring. When I had rough days and would beat myself up over something concerning my appearance, your commentary would give me some kind of catharsis. My perspective has shifted so much for the better, and I fully realize how rare and commendable it is in this day and age with social media to be a person who can properly deal with insecurity as well as overcome it. I'm not perfect, not at all, but 2 years ago, I wouldn't have even been capable of writing you this letter. I would have been entirely too paranoid. You've helped me to become confident enough to put myself out there and give things a shot that requires some kind of bravery, so thank you. Well, I got to tell you, it sounds to me like you've broken that spell at a fairly young age, because really, like, what you're talking about here, it's the programming that's happening, trying to convince you that you're not good enough. You and I know that the perspective that's presented on this show is counterculture to what's being promoted in the mainstream. What are we really promoting here on the show? You know, what? To love who you are, to be confident in who you are, to not care what anybody thinks, to have thicker skin, to be able to make fun of yourself, or to realize how silly you look, or how to break the programming and try and stop doing things that aren't going to bring anything fulfilling into your life. Stop falling into these traps. Stop falling into the pitfalls. You know, do something creative. Do something that's going to inspire people. Why are you wasting your time with the phones? And this should be promoted by teachers and family and even the television and the news. If things were right and everything was aligned properly, it should be a no-brainer. What am I promoting here that causes me to get age restricted all the time, or my videos pulled down or censored or banned? I mean, it sure speaks volumes about the people who are making these decisions. Because the last time I looked on YouTube, I mean, I can't even repeat half the stuff that's on here. Could you imagine if we had control of the television, if we had control of the media? Do you know how quickly all of this would be over? We're born into a world of people who have designed a manufactured reality with a specific set of rules and approved perspectives that are allowed in the mainstream. And that design doesn't align with my design. And I have no problem rejecting their design. And I think you should too. Join me, your cult leader. On that note, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Well, I want to thank all of my friends for dropping by and helping me make a lot of kids happy. Now, you have a happy holiday, and from all of us to you and your loved ones, a Merry, Merry Christmas.
We